Hello and welcome to Fraggle Talk Classic, the unofficial Fraggle Rock podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. My name is Beth and I am rewatching for the millionth time.
My name is Julia and I'm rewatching for the first time in 10 years.
My name is Adam and I'm not rewatching this. I'm pre-watching it now so I can rewatch it later.
Nice.
Today we are talking about episode 5 of season 3, Blanket of Snow, Blanket of Woe, which originally aired on January 28th, 1985, written by B.P. Nickel and directed by George Bluefield.
The working title was, Let's Call Out Our Neurodivergent Audience.
Wait, what?
I mean,
Oh,
okay, not
I see
actually,
what you mean.
But did neither of you feel aggressively called out by this episode?
100%.
Yeah.
This is the most I have related to Mokey, and she is a poet, and this is the most I've been like, okay, I feel so called out and so seen at the same time by this episode.
Definitely.
I have a literal line in my notes that says I was not expecting Mokey, of all characters, to make me feel so seen. But when she... I'll get to the bit when it gets to it. But yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we start off with Doc, and we immediately learn more about what kind of a dog owner Doc is. He is the kind to do the fake throw several times in a row.
Hey, it works sometimes. It's fun. Speaking as a person who works with dogs, I do the fake throw.
I'm a big fan. No, I'm not shaming the fake throw.
Right.
We love a fake throw. What I'm saying is he does it 3 times in a row without ever actually doing a real throw.
Well, he's also in his workshop, and was like, are you going to throw it? How big is Doc's workshop?
Right?
Like, you know, if you've got, like, a little dog and, like, a ball, like, doing a soft throw, but Sprocket's a big dog. Is he going to chuck it across
he at first
the whole
goes
room?
like he's going to throw it out the front door, and I was like, that
would make more sense. Yeah. He does do it 3 times, which I feel like I've done as well to a dog, because if they keep buying it, keep doing it.
I mean, yeah, but also, like, eventually I feel bad if you don't eventually throw the thing.
I think he was going to, but then the phone rings.
Then the phone rings.
Yeah, and it's Miss Ashnod calling him. No, that's a villain from Magic the Gathering. Hold on, what's her name again?
Ardath.
There we go. Ashnod calling Doc so she can take his organs.
Oh, no.
Anyways.
I mean, it's fair. I've never heard the name Ardath outside of Fraggle Rock.
It does sound elven.
Dang, it really does.
Ardath, Queen of Nihilation.
Yeah, right out of Tolkien.
She weaves the water together and builds homes.
Mother of Fluffinella.
I thought Fluffinella was Schimmelfinny's.
You're right.
she's got the Arendelle.
Marigold, that's right.
That's it.
Upon her steed, Marigold. But I just want to point out, Doc answers the phone, and as soon as he hears it's Miss Ardath, he goes into immediate Riz voice. Like, dang, dude. Really out here trying to Riz him with the tisms.
Yeah, he finds out that he's going to be in the same spot as Mokey in a bit, that he had multiple promises to multiple people.
And now he kind of has to rush and hyperfixate and just kind of cram last minute. And let me tell you, as someone who watched this episode 40 minutes before we recorded it,
Same.
because I forgot this was happening until I checked the group chat, I did not expect to be so called out.
I just love that I was in the middle of therapy and have to be like, oh, there's a 6-digit code popping up on my screen. Let me text my friend Adam real quick.
Oh, it popped up on your screen? I'm so sorry.
Fine. If it hadn't, I would never have seen that. If it only was on my phone, I never would have seen it. So I'm actually grateful for that.
Yeah, I was going to hit the group chat, and I fully expected, I was like, this is not going to go anywhere. I'm going to have to torrent just this episode somehow and watch it, and then it'll be a funny story. But no, Beth, in the middle of therapy, hooked me up with a login code.
I was literally about to give you my Apple login code, like, because I figured, oh, Beth's in therapy. There's no way she's going to be able to get that to Adam, and then, like, right on cue, the code came in.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Julia, you're an absolute bro. I appreciate you.
I got your back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we see that Doc has forgotten that he promised Miss Ardath that he was going to write advertising copy for the inn. And like, him immediately realizing like this is something he said he would do, and he just completely forgot. I was like, this is me, like especially me in like my teen years for high school, until I just started making big daily to-do lists and I write everything down. Otherwise, this is exactly what happens.
Mm-hmm. If I don't write it down when I agree to it in the moment, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and if I can't write it down, I will tell the person I'm speaking to, you need to remind me, otherwise I likely won't remember.
That's a really good tool. I'm stealing that.
Yeah.
And then you've got the double whammy of sometimes you did write it down in a place that you never went to again. Like taking 1 million screenshots on my phone, my brain is like, I'm saving this for later. And the other part of my brain is like, you will never look at this again.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
I always take pictures of things, and it never works out. I always come across
I have
them
to
like
write
a year
it in the
later.
notes app.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I will do every so often is I'll just look through my screenshots and be like, oh, that's what I wanted to remember.
Right?
Huh.
Yes.
Is that still? Nope. We missed the deadline on that by a long time. All right, we can delete that.
Yup.
There is something really interesting though that I want to point out because it's snowing at docks. Then we cut to the Fraggles. It's cold there. Then we cut to the Gorgs. It's cold there. That would seem to imply that these three societies share a climate biome.
Or at least seasons. That, like, even if they're got their own little mini biomes happening, they're at least connected enough that, like, okay, it's generally winter here.
Yeah. So this is an episode about Mokey, and this is an episode that, for a lot of reasons, I like. And I love that this is the episode that we wound up watching now before we wound up recording the special thing that we'll probably tell you about more at the end of the episode because they're gonna tie in real well. But so she decides she just doesn't feel like knitting. She realizes she forgot to take care of Lanford. And then Red comes home, and it turns out Mokey also promised Red that she would fix her skates. And because she didn't, Red got hurt, which is a little bit, I feel like, on Red, because I feel like if you're putting a skate on your foot, you can check it to see if it's busted.
Yeah, or at least ask Mokey before putting it on if she got to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Saying, like, calling out the neurodivergent folks, that I was resonating with Mokey even before then. The moment, so we pan down to, okay, it's cold in Fraggle Rock, and Mokey's wearing her winter wear. Cool, it's a winter episode. And she's knitting, and she's muttering along, and then she goes, oh, phooey, I just do not feel like knitting today. And she looks around and goes, what can I do instead? And I wrote down, okay, this is how the episode starts? Kick me right in my unmedicated ADHD teeth, why don't you?
Yeah.
Just the feeling of, like, I'm in the middle of doing a thing, and suddenly the motivation to do the thing is gone.
Too real.
Yeah.
What the heck, brain?
Me not having made music in weeks.
Ugh.
Bleh. I mean, part of that's also just new job stuff, which, hey, listeners, I got a new job.
Woo!
I'm not a teacher anymore. I, along with many other rats, have jumped off of this burning, sinking ship that is the public education system.
Save yourself!
Woo!
Anyways, yeah, thank you. That moment did hit, but I didn't write anything down about it, so I didn't remember to say anything.
Same.
So she realizes first that she promised Lanford, which it seems like this is probably a nightly thing to, like, wrap him up if it's going to be cold.
Mm-hmm.
And so he starts sneezing and shivering, and it was like, oh, okay, Lanford doesn't look like he can wrap himself up at night. That one's on you, Mokey.
Side note, one of the scariest things for me about my hopes to eventually own a pet is I'm so worried that my neurodivergence will make it harder to take care of said pet. Or rather, easier to neglect said pet, which is part of why I want to get a cat, because they're very good at self-advocating.
True.
Yeah, both cats and dogs will let you know if they need to be fed, if a dog needs to go out. They're usually pretty good about bugging you after some time.
But the moment that I was like, oh, wow, okay, is so Mokey's feeling really bad. Lanford's sort of coughing and sneezing. Red's really frustrated. And then Boober comes up and it's like, Mokey, are you still down to help me make this radish soup like you promised you would? And Mokey just throws her head back and goes, ah! And I was just like, that is what's happening in my soul. I get it. Yes, me too.
Yeah, this episode resonates a lot for me as someone who is neurodivergent and often forgets about things that I said that I would do. And also, I tend to overcommit myself way too much with work and art and organizing and seeing friends and my partner and all of it.
Same.
And so I have been in this situation where suddenly everyone's like, hey, are you going to get me the thing today? Hey, are we going to do this thing today? And I'm like, oh no, what did I do to myself? And why didn't I write any of this down?
Yeah.
So I felt bad for Mokey in this one because I could relate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talk a lot about time blindness in terms of, like, not knowing like how much time something will take. And I think about a lot of times of like, you know, like getting out the door to get somewhere. I always underestimate how much time it's going to take me to wake up, do all of my morning routine stuff, get out the door. But this is a big part of it too, because it doesn't feel like overcommitting yourself when you make the promise. It feels like, yes, I want to do this thing for you. Oh, that's ages away. I have plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a future me problem, or a future me thing that I will figure out, not necessarily a problem. Like, this is a thing I have worked with my therapist on, about checking my calendar first before I commit to things, because otherwise I'll sometimes just have a week where I'm like, oh no, I guess I'm going to sleep very little to try to manage all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that line later where Mokey, turns out she also promised to knit a tarpaulin for the trash heap, and she's, you know, feeling bad because she forgot, and she says, I only promised to knit her that tarpaulin because I didn't want her to think badly of me.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, people-pleasing and neurodivergent struggles? Wow.
That line also was a gut punch for me, where I was like, oh, I've definitely promised people things because I want them to like me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Also, I didn't know what a tarpaulin was until I Googled it today.
Yeah, so...
It's like a tarp.
Yeah, it's
right?
where we get the word tarp.
Mm-hmm.
And I did look it up. It says... So the first definition is a protective covering of canvas or other material waterproofed with tar, paint, or wax. And I was like, okay, so it does have to be waterproofed. She just had to knit it first.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I guess something knitted can become a tarp. But for the longest time, I was like, if you knit something, it's full of holes. That's not going to keep the snow and ice off of her.
Oh, yes. So I also, just a little thing I wanted to point out. Boober says that there's snow as high as Gorg's knees. And just canonically, that means that snow is human height.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Which is, I feel, honestly, an unexplored thing. Like, a Fraggle wouldn't walk on top of 6 feet of snow, right? A Fraggle would tunnel along the ground through 6 feet of snow like a little burrowing rodent. And I wish we'd seen that.
Well, is it actually as high as a Gorg's knee, or is Boober using a Fraggleism? Because, like, is the corn really as high as an elephant's eye?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
They've measured elephants' eyes, and it's approximately the height of a corn stalk at full adult growth.
I can't tell if you're b***ing me, but I feel like you're b***ing me.
I'm mostly b***ing you, but it sounds about right. Like, corn gets taller than me, so do elephant heads.
There was a moment when... So Mokey starts out knitting, and then she's like, oh no, I promised to knit the tarpaulin for Madame Trashheap. And I was like, oh, I have been in that moment of executive dysfunctioning so hard that you're doing the thing, but you forgot the why of why you're doing the thing. And that ends up being the important piece. Because, like, at least for me, I know if I'm doing something for someone else, I'm more likely to remember. And if I'm doing it just for me, I'm more likely to forget. But if I try and frame it as, like, remembering the why of why I'm doing this, and, like, whatever the thing is, trying to give myself as much consideration of, like, I'm going to do this thing for future Beth.
Oh, that's a good way to frame it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, try and think of myself of, like, oh, I'm doing this friend a favor. My friend is me in the future.
You're bending my brain, Beth. So we cut to the Gorgs.
It's so snowy.
It's really snowy. We got a little bit of Gorg history. Ma Gorg's mom was named Queen Esmerelda. She had very hairy knees and she didn't like waste. But they're making a Goomba, which I'm amazed they didn't get sued by Nintendo.
Well, so, okay. Honest question. Why did they decide to call this soup Goomba soup? Like Goomba instead... Because I looked up, I thought, okay, maybe it's like they wanted to use gumbo, but we'll make it a little weird and a little Gorgish. Turns out the word gumbo and Goomba have nothing to do with each other.
Really?
Really. So, gumbo, soup thickened with okra, 1805, from Louisiana French, probably ultimately from Central Bantu dialect. Compare mbundu ngombo, meaning okra. Apologies if I mispronounced that. And then Goomba, Goomba, by 1984 from dialectical pronunciation of Italian compare, meaning companion godfather. So Joe pointed out in this article that this is actually like a not great term for Italian Americans.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, that's me.
I had no idea. So I was like, why is this soup?
Well, so I was familiar with this word. I don't think I realized that maybe it wasn't a great term. I thought it was just like something that you call just a guy, a person.
Right, exactly.
Like, I didn't think there was a negative connotation to it. Like, obviously, like, I know also the Goombas are in Mario, which, like, maybe that's why they took that word.
I mean, I remember sort of absorbing the context that it's like you call kind of like a foolish kind of a dude. Kind of like a schlemiel.
Mm-hmm. So maybe because the soup ultimately, spoiler alert, is going to, like, get ruined and dropped? I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyways, Junior needs a union.
Right?
As always.
I wrote that down again,
He's got to pick frozen radishes out of the frozen ground with no gloves.
With no gloves. That's PPE.
This man needs to strike for better working conditions.
Yes. Yeah, you'll notice that, like, Junior's winter wear, he's got now a hat and a scarf and still no pants.
No pants.
Never pants.
He is full Donald Duck in it. Pants of a squares.
Oh, also, just a quick note about Queen Esmerelda. Quote, may she shed in peace.
Yeah, what did that mean?
What are gorgs shedding?
Well, it says that she had very hairy knees, so I assume that she's shedding her hair.
Canonically, gorgs shed, because they have fur.
Right.
Animals will just, in our world, animals shed during the hot seasons. Are they saying that gorgs also shed because they're furry?
I mean, that makes sense. Like, we, as humans, we shed our hair. It's
true.
Less noticeable because we have less fur than our animal companions. But, like, the phrase, may she shed in peace. Shedding is so important to Gorg culture that it's what you wish someone when they die?
Maybe we're looking at this wrong. Maybe she doesn't mean it as a verb. Maybe it's a noun. Maybe Gorg heaven is a shed.
Maybe she's shedding off this life for the afterlife.
When you're a Gorg queen and you die, you get your own she shed.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I love this headcanon.
Look, I feel like if you're a Gorg and you're royalty, you can shed your pants if you want to.
The horrifying one that I was imagining was, okay, do Gorgs, when they die, shed their form and burst forth into a new and terrifying existence, screaming like cicadas?
Oh my god. Is that where all of the murder wasps from Gideon Harold the Ninth come from?
Sure.
Just reminded me that the murder wasps exist.
Change of subject. I also think it's notable that Queen Esmeralda instilled in her daughter this waste not, want not idiom, which a lot of us have heard, especially if we grew up with, say, grandparents who survived the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this does not sound like a queen who's ruling a very prosperous kingdom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It didn't seem very Gorgish to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, it is, again, a children's show. And so I was like, I guess they're just trying to instill this in kids. And it's just, in this episode, it's just coming from the Gorgs. But it felt very like, I don't know, them talking about composting. I was like, all right, go off, Ma, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it is Gorgish in the way that, like, it is a grown-up adhering to a principle that makes a child do more work so the grown-up doesn't have to.
I guess so.
In this instance, yes.
Also, just want to give another shout-out. The pratfalls, fantastic.
Oh,
yeah. Yes.
Junior's physical comedy in this whole episode is so good.
Really good.
And then we get to see Philo and Gunge, also in winter wear, which I don't think we've seen them in their winter wear yet. It's so stinking cute.
They got little hats and little sweaters.
It's really, really good.
Like, this scene is both tragic and adorable.
I know, and we're gonna see them in little ice skates skating around.
Little ice skates.
I know they're sad, but this is delightful.
Uh-huh.
But Marjorie's frozen. She's frozen solid.
Marjorie is totally frozen. And it is, I want to give them credit where it's due for this particular song. If you'll recall, my issues with season 2 were that I felt like the music was kind of spread too thin. Like, there were some songs that were absolute fire, but it felt like there were a lot of sort of filler songs.
Mm-hmm.
And this episode only has 2 songs, but they're both great.
Yeah.
I love both of these songs so much. And this one is probably my favorite because we get an old-fashioned country and western duet with, like, really loose time and sort of call and response, but really sort of sliding all over the measure, and those like high harmonies that shouldn't work, but they do. Oh, I loved this song.
And like heartbreaking, why did she leave me? Where did she go? Kind of language, as if it's like, again, an old country, like a breakup song.
This is how songs used to be. For those of you who know the country genre, this is what country sounded like before 9/11.
Oh, jeez, yeah. And I was just like, watching Philo and Gunge skate around, I'm like, okay, now that I'm looking at it, like wailing singing an old country style song while ice skating, honestly seems like kind of a great coping mechanism for grief.
It's how you process. There's a reason the blues were invented.
And at the end of the song, they slide down Marjorie, which is a cute little puppetry effect, but I'm like, they're sliding down what they think is the body of their dead friend.
Oh, that's dark.
I'm like, okay, it's weird, but also kind of cool in like a Pa Otter sort of way. Like he left them the slide that then Ma Otter and Emmett Otter slide down every year.
Yeah, but they're not sliding down Pa Otter's dead body.
True.
They're not using his body as the sled.
Have you never been to a funeral and had a somber, mournful, respectful sliding down the corpse of the deceased?
Not so far.
Wow, that's weird. God, you go to some weird funerals.
Well, okay. Introduce me to some more large people that I can slide down, I guess?
Oh, it's not the size of the person, right? The sliding down of the deceased corpse is like life. Sometimes it's shorter than it should be, but the important thing is that we got to find this beautiful bit of contact and let them give us the momentum to continue forward in our life.
Duh.
Yeah, we justified it. You didn't think we were gonna, but we did.
So when Mokey finally admits that, like, oh no, this is my fault. I promised to knit her a new tarpaulin and I forgot. And they start like...
Immediate pivot.
They turn so quickly.
Yeah. Like menacing towards her, like, what are you gonna do about it, little Miss Promise Breaker? What are you gonna do about it? I'm like, okay, I like the implication that Philo and Gunge, if you make them mad, are just like straight up mafia level powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But for like personal and community accountability. Like when stuff goes really wrong, sometimes you need a couple of guys to show up and be intimidating.
Well, they think their best friend is dead. So if you're going to intimidate someone and make them feel bad, this is like a good reason, I suppose. If you're like, oh, you're the reason she froze to death.
Yeah, the phrase like, what are you going to do about it, makes it seem like she can do something about it. Like, this might not be forever. Please go fix it.
That's true.
Which, to her credit, I've talked a little bit about, well, I don't think I actually talked about it. I wrote a little bit about how I do have some issues with the resolve of this episode. But one of the things that I really do appreciate is that her immediate instinct is, well, this is my mistake. I need to make it right.
Yes.
Good modeling for children.
Definitely.
And she apologizes. I feel like a season 1 Mokey would have, I don't know, just like kind of tried to like wave it off as like, oh, the universe has called her into this process. Who knows, Found
a reason it wasn't her fault.
And she actually like legitimately feels really awful, and she apologizes and says that she's going to try to fix it, which is, what you got to try to do when you mess up.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah. And this moment when she's like, I only promised to knit her that tarpaulin because I didn't want her to think badly of me. Oh no, now she's really gonna think badly of me.
Yeah.
That moment of like your own worrying about what other people think of you dug yourself into an even deeper hole where now you're gonna look even worse than you did before. Like, I've been there and it stinks.
It's a bad feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a good time. And they do have a really interesting resolve of, or at least there's a very interesting beat that I appreciate, because she goes back and she's freaking out. We also get a little vignette of the Doozers on her way back.
Yeah.
They're helping jumpstart a little thing. It's really sweet. And they got their little Doozer winter gear on, and it's so good. I love the Doozers.
Yeah, we get to see a little glimpse of Cotterpin and Wrench.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically like jump-starting her little electric tricycle scooter thingy. Like, oh, it's also winter for them.
But so she goes back and she tells everybody, and she's freaking out and feeling super bad and beating herself up super hard. And Gobo says, there'll be time enough for guilt later. What are we going to do right now?
Yeah.
And I wish that had been hit just a little bit harder. Because one of the really difficult lessons that I had to learn in struggling with this exact same thing is that instinct to self-flagellate is self-centered and does not serve my goals.
Right.
Yeah.
If my goal is to actually figure out how to fix the problem, beating myself up is just me trying to make sure everyone, including myself, knows that I feel really bad about this and that makes it okay. Which, like, no, it's not okay, but the way to fix it is to do something about it.
And if I may quote the late, great Andrea Gibson, beating yourself up is never a fair fight.
Dang, timely. Yeah. I mean, I don't know when this episode's going to come out, but Andrea Gibson, beloved poet, amazing, kind person, passed in the last 2 weeks.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
God, and Tom Lehrer, too.
Yeah,
Jesus.
like a couple days ago. That Tom Lehrer was like really important in my childhood, weirdly enough.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I had a friend who her family was obsessed with him and just always played him in the car.
Oh.
And I tried to tell, like, I was like, oh, Steven, my husband, do you know who Tom Lehrer is? He died. And he was like, no, who is he? And I was like, he's like from the 50s or 60s that wrote like satirical songs about killing pigeons and the periodic table.
He was a trailblazer is what he was.
Yeah. But trying to sum it up to somebody who doesn't know, it was like, in that moment, I was like, I don't know how to describe him to you.
It's hard.
Yeah.
He also, like, hits that really good neurodivergent vibe also.
Oh, yeah.
God, yeah, that one. My favorite Tom Lehrer fact is Daniel Radcliffe went on...
Please continue.
Yeah. One of the evening shows and showed off that he had the entirety of the Elements song by Tom Lehrer memorized, which for those of you who don't know, Tom Lehrer wrote a song that is just all of the elements on the periodic table set to I Am the Very Model of a Modern Major General.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Daniel Radcliffe was really proud of it, and he showed it off. And Tom Lehrer heard about this and just, like, as a little thank you, made him what is captioned the Elements song, but written by Aristotle.
What?
And it's one bar, and it just says, there's earth and air and fire and water.
That's amazing.
Yep.
This is a different fun fact than I thought you were going for.
Wait, you had a different fun fact? What's your fun fact for Tom Lehrer and Daniel Radcliffe?
That's why there's more than one.
Weird Al was watching that interview and saw Daniel Radcliffe singing the Elements to Rihanna. And said to himself, this guy gets it.
And that's how he got
and
the
that's
part.
how Daniel Radcliffe got cast as Weird Al.
Who looks nothing like Weird Al. Like, I haven't seen that movie yet, but I'm just delighted by the fact that
It's insane
Daniel Radcliffe, who's
in all the best ways.
He's such a short man that looks nothing like him, but also weird energy. I'm glad that Daniel Radcliffe seems great. I hope he's having a great time. He had to live through a franchise that is now, like, crumbling in front of him, and it just seems like he's only taking on projects that seem fun. So good for him.
Yes. No, he's
Elijah Wood.
Joined the noble ranks, exactly, of Elijah Wood and
Robert Pattinson.
And oh god, who was Matilda? Mara
Wilson.
Mara Wilson, of, like, celebrities who got too famous too young and then went away for a while and just came back weird, unapologetically weird.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah. Weird side tangent.
Yeah. Very in line, though. Very in line.
I'm like, I don't have notes for a while until we get to...
I mean, basically where we're at is that Mokey was talking to her friends about it, and Gobo very much is like, I know what's gonna help, and immediately Red's like, oh my god. Like, he doesn't even say what it is, and Red's like, okay, just go get it over with, basically, because it's Matt's postcard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, it seems mostly unrelated. Like, this seems to be kind of about loneliness.
Yeah.
Because he's saying, he's trying to make friends in outer space, and there's a silly creature all up on a high stalagmite all by himself, and it's a statue. And he tries to climb up it, but gets caught on a lion statue, and then he falls, and then a police officer looks sternly, but then helps pick him up and dust him off? Like, okay.
Also, was that not a British cop? That looked like a British
cop. I also think that I want to say that lion statue is a famous statue in London, I'm assuming.
Oh, is it? I was hoping someone knew.
I believe so. I didn't recognize the the statue of the man up on the giant, like, pedestal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's also probably well known, but I'm pretty sure the lion is in London. And then, yeah, that cop had, like, the classic British cop, like, helmet on. So I guess he's in the UK. Somehow.
Nice.
I really would love to see an episode where Matt's on a plane. I think having him like globe hop, but without exploring all of the various travel things. Like one, it, you know, feels like there's approaching a seam in the world building, but two, there's an opportunity here to see what he thinks of these weird, strange devices.
Didn't we see him at an airport once with like small planes? Not like a big passenger jet, but like the little like four-seater
I'm
guy.
so flattered that you think I remember things.
I don't remember that, which also is to say, like, it could have very well happened.
Fair enough.
But I don't remember him being at an airport, either looking at planes or being in planes. He rode a roller coaster, which does go in the air.
Yeah, he rode an elevator, which he decided was a magical box that changed the entire world.
Yep.
He got eaten by a bus.
All right.
He's dealt with cars so many times. So he's dealt with transportation, but I don't think we've seen him deal with planes or even be, like, on a boat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could look this up, but it would take too much time and internet bandwidth.
Precisely. So we cut back, and we see that Junior is helping Ma cook. Sorry, yes.
Boober comes in, and
yes.
He's got the solution. He's been making soup this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this running gag where first he thinks she doesn't want soup, but now she's like, that's perfect. What, you like soup now?
Mm-hmm.
She says, we'll take every last drop of Boober soup and we'll dump it on the trash heap. And Boober's like, will someone please tell me what is happening?
Poor Boober.
Poor Boober.
Yeah, she wants to dump it on the trash heap to thaw her out, but she also says it's full of good things to revive the trash heap, which, does that mean, does Marjorie absorb nutrients and that's how she eats food because she's also just a pile of compost? Which could be it.
Gotta be.
Is that not how you eat?
I wish.
Right? Sounds better, honestly.
Yeah.
Does sound kind of great.
And then they all take off and Red can't join because her ankle is sprained.
She's all bummed.
Foot's broken. She's hurt.
Which, like, Red, let this be a lesson. Check your skates.
Right. So they go in and dump the soup on Marjorie, but it's just a little bit and only her hand starts moving.
Yeah.
And then she, like, very, very weakly is like, more soup.
Mm-hmm.
It's very oil can from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so then they decide they need to go get more soup. And Boober goes off to make more soup because they use the whole pot. But Mokey and Gobo clock that Junior and Magorg are making a big old thing of soup. And that's very interesting to them, and they decide to go forward with it and see if they can find a way to get them to dump that onto the trash heap, which they can.
Mm-hmm.
We got a really important, and I think actually a very interesting, because it's well seated and set up, we get to see that Junior made salt and pepper shakers for Ma in the shape of Fraggles.
That look exactly like Gobo and Mokey.
He's so cute.
Yeah, he's experimenting with the arts. He's trying to express himself and capture the things that he's thinking about and make them outside of his thinking head. I make words good.
And it's a really sweet gift, and she is trying to, like,
she does her best.
We know that Ma Gorg hates Fraggles and is grossed out by them, but she's like, nope, I'm determined to love this handmade gift from my son, even though they're Fraggles.
Yep. And so she sends him to the pantry to get stuff, and he comes back with greaseberry seeds. And she's like, no, that'll make this taste terrible. If you put greaseberry seeds in this, we'd have to throw the whole thing out. And Gobo and Mokey go, oh.
Yep.
And then we get a song, but before that, I don't know if we've ever gotten to see Junior, Gorg, and Ma just hanging out.
Yeah, it's a really sweet scene.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's just like a kid helping his mom make dinner, basically.
Yeah.
There was one moment, though, that, like, every time Ma Gorg's being great, and then she'll have a moment, and she's like, now, go throw those out, because apparently he made a mistake. And he's like, but it was dark in the cellar, and like, he didn't know what he was grabbing. And when he goes to throw out the greaseberry seeds, he says, boy, your best is never good enough around this kingdom.
Right?
Oh, My heart.
Like, he's also feeling not good enough.
Yeah.
Like, that does feel like a really consistent theme through this episode, and I thought that was very well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do have this lovely little song and dance together where they sing about making soup. And turns out Ma and Junior have got some moves.
Yeah.
Shout out to body puppeteers Rob Mills and Trish Leeper.
Real good.
Dang.
Junior's grooving. It's great.
Also, this song, old school rock and roll, but before metal hit the genre. Like, this is, I love genre. So we get the Doc segment. It's him trying to come up with stuff and feeling bad because he's like, Sprocket, I know I promised I would play with you, but I promised this beforehand and I need to be, follow through.
It's somewhat admirable because, yes, he made 2 promises, but he's like, I've got this one I made first. It's also obviously more immediate because she needs it, presumably, for advertising the business. And so he's voicing that to Sprocket and he's apologizing, but he's also like, I gotta stick with this, even though it's, not what you want to hear. And that's just sometimes how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like trying out these different advertising slogans. And
yeah,
it's so funny to me that the first one, he says, the resort for winter sport. And then he's like, nah, no, that's an exaggeration. And I was like, Doc, my guy, I need to explain something about advertising and how advertising works.
Yeah, buddy.
all exaggeration.
Unless you're going to take the ocean breeze soap will get you clean route, then yes, we're all agreeing to the fiction that it's just like taking an ocean cruise, only there's no boat and you don't actually go anywhere. We're enjoying this exaggeration together.
It's the story. You gotta use stories to make people spend money because we evolved to tell stories. And so if you just hijack the central part of our communicative language brain, you can convince us to believe whatever thing you're selling enough to spend money.
Oof.
I don't like advertisers.
Yeah, no. I took a screenshot the other day when I wanted to go on the Dimension 20 wiki to look something up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, bam, this huge banner ad across the top advertising the new Coca-Cola cans with the characters from whichever Star Wars on it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, our corporate overlords have now taken our symbols of resistance to an evil empire and they're selling us back to them while I'm trying to access a free resource that has been maintained by passionate community members, and I'm forced to see this. Gross.
Yeah. That reminds me, you made that thing about, like, yeah, somebody might have inherited it from a grandparent, maybe who lived through the Great Depression. You ever think about how we're going to be the grandparents who lived through the Great Depression?
100%.
Oh, no. I don't know if I have, but that's real. We've lived through so much.
There's so much.
That's depressing.
And hey, we're not done yet. We're not done living.
Oh. No.
But also the so much isn't done either.
Yeah.
But also the so much isn't done either.
It's never ending.
Surviving is so punk rock.
Drink water.
I'm out. I finished the cup of water I brought.
Lack of planning.
Should have brought 2 cups of water. Anyways. So they step in and swap. They have this cute little argument about who's going to swap out. And Mokey's like, actually, Gobo, I have to do it because you're too short. And then she goes and swaps herself out for the pepper shaker.
Which Gobo could have absolutely subbed in for the salt shaker if he wanted to, which also gets used.
No, they're the
I
same
thought
height.
they both would
They're the same
do
height.
it. And then they could each have the greaseberries, and then whoever gets
Yeah.
picked up has the greaseberries to do it. It didn't make
That's
sense
exactly
why...
how I
Redundancy.
thought this was going to go in my head.
Yeah, I guess
And I misremembered.
maybe they wanted one of them to be like on guard in case it goes badly, so they could then intercede just in case they both were to have gotten picked up and then gotten in trouble. But it also felt weird that they were arguing when they both looked like the Shakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ma decides, she's going to add more seasoning. Mokey steps in as the pepper shaker. We get this, like a terrifying shot of her being held upside down over a boiling cauldron and being like smacked.
Yup. Just smack, smack, smack.
She's just like
Yeah.
releasing the greaseberry seeds into the soup.
Which works.
It works.
Works real good.
Yeah, Junior tastes it first and is like, oh no, this is horrible. And so Ma gets offended, calls Pa in for a second opinion. Turns out
He loves it.
Pa likes greaseberries.
But she gets really mad, and then she's like, no, I'm not going to let you eat the grease. And to her credit, she does give Junior props for not lying to her.
Yes.
Which, we'll take it where we can. And then she's like, no, go throw it away. And Junior grabs a cauldron that's been on the fire with his bare hands.
Yep.
And repeatedly makes gestures about how hot it is. I have in my notes in all caps, can we get this giant man boy some oven mitts? Please.
This is where the great physical comedy with Junior slip sliding around on the ice outside happens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Joe did point out in his 40 Years Later article, I think he said something like, we know that Junior has cleats on the bottom of his shoes. So him slipping around on the ice is like the least believable part of the episode. But on the other hand, Junior finding a way to slip on the ice despite having cleats on his shoes might actually be the most believable part of the episode.
Oh, yeah. He's just not good at things. And that's fine. That's sort of how he is. And I love it for him.
Yes. But yeah, the soup gets dumped on Marjorie and she revives fully. She does ask for more soup, though.
She does, which good for her. She deserves more soup.
And then immediately gets it? Like Boober and Wembley show up like he's made more soup?
Yeah, and she's super psyched about it. This, it ends a little abruptly where Mokey apologizes, she promises to keep all of her promises, and then Marjorie's just like, I want more soup. And then that's kind of it, which, again, I spent this episode really feeling for Mokey, but there didn't seem to be much resolve in the sense of being like, well, maybe, try to remember who you've made promises to, or don't beat yourself up if you do forget. Just a little, I don't know if it would be a bow, but just something to really kind of move us to the end of it. But instead it's just Mokey apologizing.
Right.
And then everyone's like, hey, soup. And then we go to Doc. And I was like, all right.
Promising to keep your promises is not going to prevent this from happening again.
Yeah, I guess there's no solution, not even a solution, but just hey, this is a thing that happens, and you know, it's probably gonna happen again, or here's something you could do. I guess that, I don't know if they would give an actionable item.
Yeah, how do you keep from overcommitting yourself in the future?
Yeah, I feel like having some useful tools would not have been beyond the scope of what this show has proven itself to be capable of.
Yeah.
So I was kind of a little, not disappointed, but surprised that we just kind of moved past a resolution I was expecting, but
I love this episode, and my issue is with the resolve.
Yeah. Then we go back to Doc, and he has finished his ad for Miss Ardath. And he's about to get back to fling and fetch, which is just fetch. He calls it fling and fetch. And the phone rings, and he's been invited by Miss Ardath to go play bridge. But he's like, I can't. I promised Sprocket that we were going to play. And she's like, I get it. And then him and Sprocket get to have fun together. And it's really sweet.
Yeah. It's really sweet.
I'm so proud of Doc. What a good friend.
I appreciate that they made a distinction between promises that you have committed and that you have to delay a commitment because of a previous commitment, or versus delaying a commitment because of a spontaneous offer.
Yeah. I forget where I heard this, but someone said that they were raised with the ethics of you can cancel plans for something more important, but you can't cancel plans for something more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, even if he had wanted to go play bridge with Ms. Ardath more, he's like, no, I made this previous commitment that is more important.
Good job, Doc.
Yeah.
Good job, Doc. Well, then, I guess, should we talk about how to make the world a little fragglier?
Don't beat yourself up if you overcommit yourself, you forget that you made some promises. Just, be honest with those people, and hopefully they will be good friends and give you the grace in catching up or finding the balance in your life.
Write things down.
That was really close to being mine.
That little voice in your head saying, "Oh, remember it." That's the devil talking. Don't listen to it.
He wants you to forget.
invest in really cute winter wear.
Oh, yeah.
Or learn how to knit and make your own.
Yeah.
Which is its own kind of, oh my god. You'll end up with so many half-finished knitting projects. But that's part of the process. And then you get to make your friends cute little hats and scarves.
Hell yeah. Can I double dip? I don't know if I've ever asked to double dip the entire run of the show, but can I double dip?
Do it!
Go for it.
Make soup.
Make soup.
Make soup. It's not hard, and it's really tasty, and you always make enough to share.
Yeah.
I literally just signed up for a meal train to bring my aunt who's going through chemo some soup, I think next month. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did you write it down? Is it
I
on your
literally
calendar?
did put it on my calendar, both
Yes!
the day that she needs to get it and the day before to remind myself to make it and get the ingredients.
Perfect.
I know how my brain works.
Righteous.
All right, that is going to be it for this one.
But before we go,
Ooh.
quick little announcement that we might cut if we don't have the time to actually follow through on it, but we probably will. We are going to be recording something that we've been kicking around for a while now. I believe it's going to be a Patreon exclusive.
Probably.
But we're going to record an episode of Adam's Adventure Time Corner.
Wow.
Which I'm very excited about. I know exactly which episode we're going to be doing. It ties so well into this episode.
Yee. I'm excited.
And it's going to be in person.
It's going to be in
We're
person.
going to be in the same place at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say first in-person episode or anything we've recorded, but also the first time all three of us will have been in person together.
Right.
This is literally the first time I will be meeting you in person, Julia, and I'm super
Basically.
excited.
It's going to be good.
So, if you haven't already, please check out our Patreon.
Yes.
It is at patreon.com, and then into the search bar, you type in Tough Pigs, I think.
Presumably.
I don't know, but the first step is patreon.com.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you.
Thank you, patrons.
Yeah, if you want to find us on social media, I am at Beth Anna Cook on mostly Blue Sky and Instagram these days, and occasionally writing stuff for Tough Pigs.
You can find me at Geek Girl Grown Up, mostly on Instagram. I'm also on Blue Sky and Threads, but barely. At juliagaskill.com for some poetry, and also occasionally writing for Tough Pigs.
You can find me, because it is summer, waist deep in blackberry brambles with purple fingers and bleeding forearms and a massive purple smile.
Aww. That is it for this one. Reminder to check out toughpigs.com, give us a good review on your podcatcher of choice, and we will see you next time.
Don't forget to dance your cares away.
Down at Fraggle Talk.
Wow. Fraggle Talk Classic is brought to you by toughpigs.com. Fraggle Talk art by Dave Hulteen Jr. The Fraggle Rock mark and logo, characters, and elements are trademarks of the Jim Henson Company. All rights reserved. Fraggle Rock theme song, written by Philip Balsam and Dennis Lee, is used with permission. Special thanks to the Jim Henson Company and the entire Fraggle Rock family. For more from Tough Pigs, follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook, and make sure to check out our Discord server, TeePublic merch store, and Patreon. Fraggle Talk Classic is produced and edited by me, Beth Cook. Thank you to Joe Hennis, the Tough Pigs Muppet Fan Podcast executive producer. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time, down at Fraggle Talk.
I'm pre-watching it now so I can re-watch it later.
Nice.
And today we are... where'd my notes go?
That's us. We are Where'd My Notes Go. It's a band we made. We do neurodivergent rock.
With very inconsistent set lists.
Speaking of neurodivergent rock, what episode are we watching today?